Former President Trump's hold on the Republican Party appears to be slipping. A new poll finds nearly 65% of young Republican voters and those with at least a college degree would not vote for Donald Trump in a presidential primary. Nearly 1 out of 5 Republican respondents say if Trump won the 2024 nomination, they would either vote for the Democratic or third-party candidate or not vote at all. Joining us now is Nichole Berlie, White House columnist with our partners at The Hill. So, Nichole, with this new polling, is the former president less likely to announce a 2024 run?
I don't think it has got that bad for him yet, Nichole. This poll does point to what you rightly term the loosening of his grip on the Republican Party. And it points to specific demographic groups that have long been less enthusiastic about the former president than some other groups, like young voters, for example. But look, there's a very simple question when it comes to elections, which is, if people say you're going to lose, who's going to beat you? And when President Trump is tested against specific figures who might run against him for the Republican nomination, he continues to be quite a long distance ahead. So you put that together with his personality, and I don't think a poll finding like this is likely to undermine an intention to run if that's what he wants to do.
Well, and let's expand upon that a little bit, Nichole, because, Trump really seems to still have this huge influence on the Republican Party in many places, the Republican primaries. So we see this polling, but we see his influence. Why the discrepancy?
Basically because he has a very strong hold on his base and always has. That base has been largely immovable since he first came to prominence in his 2016 campaign. Now, set against that, you have January the 6th, you have the event itself, you have the hearings going on into it that have dominated this past month, and you just have the former president's entire history of controversy upon controversy. He has more baggage than an airport carousel, and so that's why there's such reluctance on some Republicans' part to nominate him again, even if he does want to go forward.
Well, we certainly can't talk about, 2024 presidential race without talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. There's speculation that he will run. Now, whether or not Trump does, who poses a bigger challenge at this point to President Biden?
I think Governor DeSantis could make a good case that it's him. And it goes to the point that I was just making. Ron DeSantis is at least as conservative as former President Trump. He seems to appeal largely to the same swath of the Republican Party. And yes, he's controversial. Yes, he draws liberal ire and quite a few media attacks. But he does not have that level of baggage that former President Trump does. Now, there are more people who don't hold an opinion on Ron DeSantis because he's not such a dominant national figure, but he's different from Trump because Trump has his hold on his base, but is really quite a toxic figure among the general population. About half the population believe he should face criminal charges for January the 6th. There's nothing remotely comparable to that in Governor DeSantis's background.
All right. Nichole Berlie live for us from Washington. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.